Hello everyone, this is KRT, Kino Restorative Tarot, and today we are doing a horoscope reading for the month of August for Capricorn, Virgo, and then Taurus. I'll leave the timestamp down below and let's get into it. Alright, Capricorn, for the month of August, this is your love reading. So I feel like some of you have been struggling with this person for a while now. I feel like you guys had so for some of you, right, you might have just gotten out of a very long-term relationship, or you want a long-term relationship. You're actually thinking about what's going on with your legacy in a way. I think that you're not interested in just regular dating. I think you've reached a point in your life where you're ready to settle down. You're done with the struggles of modern dating. But with that being said, you're a little bit anxious. I see that you're being very anxious about the type of person that is coming into your life. For those of you who are in a long-term relationship, I feel like this person needs to propose, or they need to step up, because I don't see them stepping up the way that they should have stepped up. And then I see this person leaving a lot of the daily chores and the daily burdens to you, and that's causing you a lot of extra anxiety and extra pressure. It's like, so I see you that you might have talked to this person before about whether or not if this person should step up. But I feel like this person, it's very difficult for them to see things through your perspective. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like getting a bit selfish vibes that this person is a little bit selfish. So for those of you who are not in a relationship, I see that you're either like had a fight with your previous partner, or if you're looking for a new relationship, I feel like you're very weary of the dating scenes. There were people that you have connected with romantically in the past that were a little bit petty, and it's very difficult. Like, for some reason, right? The people that you've connected with in the past, it was very difficult for them to give you what you want, like to help you meet your needs, like that. So I feel like you guys are actually tired of looking for new relationships. I feel like that you guys are kind of leave it to the universe for them to send you someone. But because you have almost, oh, okay, and we got the Five of Pentacles in the upright position. I feel like in the past couple of relationships, things just did not work out. I feel like whoever you're thinking about, Capricorns, they really just left you. To be honest, even though like there's no betrayal cards, but I feel like it was a huge betrayal. For some of you, they might have even left you in a very difficult financial situation. So say, for example, you two were living together and then they kicked you out, and then you had to spend extra money to find a place, or to like crash in on a couch of your friends. I see that you guys really do sincerely hope and wish for that type of once in a lifetime type of relationship, which, to be honest, I think that's a very reasonable wish. That's a very reasonable desire, because we all want to be loved and we all want to be taken care of. For some of you, there's a small group of you, I actually feel the energy that the other person might have stepped out. If it's not physical, then absolutely it was very emotional. And because of that, I see that some of you have been struggling mentally. So I'm not diagnosing you. I'm just saying that the energy feels like the moon for me, right? The energy feels like depression. Usually that's my card for mental health. And it's not all bad things in terms of this relationship, right? Or the ex-relationship. I feel like you've gotten wiser. You've become smarter. I mean, to be honest, I think that you're very smart with that Queen of Swords. I think that you're very smart to begin with. But now for some of you, I'm getting the message that you might have even finished your Saturn return through this relationship. But I think that relationship have taught you a lot. I think that you can smell BS a mile away now. I think in the past you really provided for this person. I actually see you financially providing for this person. I think sometimes you guys are too cerebral that you might have difficulty connecting with people on an emotional level. I think that's what happened in this relationship. This person felt like that you could have provided them with more emotional support, and they didn't get that. And so for some of you, that might have led them to step out emotionally, to seek out emotional support elsewhere. I think that your love language is to just be there, do the daily things, acts of service, that type of thing. You're a very solid, very grounded approach. Well, I mean, of course, I'm reading for a Capricorn. Of course, I just realized. Oh, wait, I'm reading for Capricorns. So that makes a lot of sense. That's very Saturnian type of energy. The advice that the spirit guides are kind of saying is that they understand that at this point you're still kind of nursing your wound, because I see that you're still very wounded and very hurt. It's okay to spend more time with your friends, right? I do have to say, though, that for some of you, there's this one particular friend who is very anti-relationship. They might even be single themselves, but the advice that they give to you is very say for example, if you met a new person, right, and you're telling your friend about this new person, this friend is very cynical. They don't see the best in people. So, and you listen to them. This is a very specific message for some of you. And you listen to them, and then bam, even though when it started you actually liked the person, but after listening to the advice of this friend, you realize, oh man, I don't like this person anymore. So I think this person, this friend of yours, is also operating from a place of hurt. And for others, I actually see you guys not because of the pain that you've experienced with this previous person. I don't see you guys financially supporting your potential love interest in the future. You just don't want that. You don't want to do that anymore. When I say financial support, I mean maybe sometimes buying them groceries on the first date, you pay for food, or just it's a lot of very grounding support. I see you being very reticent to support them in the future. So for the immediate future, I got the Empress in the reverse, and then I got the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse position. I'm not gonna lie, Capricorn, those are my cards for codependency. I think you guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I think that you guys focus on the other person and you provide them with a lot of financial support or just active service type of energy, because it's easier for you to do it that way, right? Because I feel like you guys have difficulty opening up emotionally, and so you have a tendency of focusing on the other person. Sometimes you're deep down you really question whether or not if you're lovable, or whether or not if this person is going to leave you once you reveal yourself to them, because there's this anxiety that once I reveal my true self to this person, what if this person does not like me? And so there's a defense mechanisms and lack of vulnerability, which, to be honest, to be fair, you see that a lot in every corner of this world, right? People have, especially if they've been hurt in the past, they have this difficulty being vulnerable because they're afraid that the other person might leave them, right? This is a fear of abandonment. And that's something that you really need to work on, right? That's because that is that sort of enmeshment or codependency type of behavior is preventing you from seeking that once in a lifetime type of loving relationship that you've always wanted and you've always dreamt of. And I hope I'm not being too harsh here, to go on the internet and call people codependent. But I think, the angels really just want to tell you that you are lovable and you alone, you is enough. You are enough. You know what I mean? You don't need to buy anyone anything. You don't need to show your financial support for anyone for anything. You don't need to like say a lot of like good things or like beautiful flowery things to someone to convince them that you are lovable. You are just lovable, period. You know what I mean? I think that, you've given yourself to the people around you your whole life, and you've always done your best to try to be there for people, to nurture people, to take care of people, and that's a huge strength of yours, right? On the flip side, sometimes we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and understand where this wounding is coming from, where this wounding of I might not be enough, where that is coming from, you know? Anyway, thank you so much, Capricorn. This is kinorestorativetarotkrt. If you need a private reading, my info is down below, and we're going to move on to Virgos. Hello everyone, this is kinorestorativetarotkrt, Kino Restorative Tarot, and this is the August reading for Virgos. So, I feel like by the way, this is a love reading, just so you guys know. I feel like you guys are thinking about someone in the past who was not very reliable. I think this person might have given you a lot of empty promises. Sometimes the Knight of Cups in the reverse could be a love bombing. I feel like they promised a lot of stability. They said that they would be there for you, but that was not the case. And I think through all of that, to be honest, this feels like a little bit of a trauma bonding because of the Nine of Swords upright over there. Because I feel like that it's like there's a lot of anxiety attached to this relationship. It could have been on and off, and because you are like your nervous system is just wired to this person, right? So during this on and off, it might feel like, oh, this is my soulmate, but in reality it's actually just a trauma bonding relationship. And I also think like this is a very specific message. I feel like for you guys, the way that you see the world, the way that you see relationship was, I don't want to say destroy, but definitely impaired, broken by this person. I think that nowadays, like in every single relationship you have, you look at people with the fine print, because you've developed trust issues. You don't know whether or not that you should trust this person, your romantic interests. You're very skeptical now because of whatever that happened between you and the previous person. So this is a very specific message for some of you. I feel like some of you, like your standards of someone like a romantic partner is actually really, really low. What I mean by that is it does not take much for the other person to impress you. Like the bare minimum is impressive to you. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of you actually have encountered people who are very, very selfish, very self-centered. And because they're so selfish and self-centered, they don't give you a lot. They promise a lot, but they don't give a lot. And so that's one of the reasons why it created a lot of trust issues within you. I feel like that, someone, to be honest, I feel like for some of you, I have a very specific message. I feel like this person, some of you could have been married to this person. But I think that, their promise fell through. Also, like, I feel like this person is like a lot of double standards. Say, for example, it is okay for them to talk to other people, but it's not okay for you to even say hi to your coworker. I'm getting that type of energy. I think that, you really wish for a grounded home, a solid home, a happy home. I think that, when you are talking to people, your goal is a peaceful marriage, actually. I'm not going to lie. This feels like a peaceful marriage with someone who can take care of you and provide you with stability. So I think that, to be honest, I think some of you might have broken up with this person and have already divorced with this person. Because I feel like there was no equal give and take with this person. This person, I don't know if, here, I'll show you guys this card. You see how dreamy this person or this card is? It's like this person is promising you the world, but there's no delivery. You know what I mean? And I feel like this person was also like very impatient. I'm getting a little bit of impulsivity type of energy. For some of you, this could have been like a very young person, but in all reality, for a lot of you, I think you gave to this person more than you've received from this person, and there's only so long you can run on empty fuels. You know what I mean? Because it was not an equal give and take relationship, so it was very, very draining. I actually feel like that, for the majority of you, I think you're ready for a new relationship. I think that, now you know what you want from people. You're no longer interested in people who are willing to manipulate you. Just because someone says very beautiful things does not make them a reliable and stable partner. I hope that makes sense. I think that I actually see, for a lot of you, you guys are going to attract someone who's very emotionally mature and emotionally available, and they have very high EQ, emotional quotient, or like, uh, so they are very understanding of you and your situation. They are willing to sit there and talk you through whenever you're having trouble in real life or whatnot. They're very quick to provide support. This is a very loving person. This is a very deep and loving relationship. The relationship, for those of you who are in this relationship, congratulations. For those of you who are single, this relationship is coming your way. I hope that makes sense. I also think that you're much better at sifting through like kicking out the people who are phony, who are not authentic. I think that, now after everything you've gone through with this previous person who was frankly, the previous person was very lazy. They did not want to put in the work, which is totally different than the next person you're going to meet who is willing to put in the work, right? This person, they promise you something and then they're going to deliver it. I actually get the King of Cups a lot for all of my readings because I think, we all want a partner who says what they would do, right? Who keep their promises. We all want a partner who delivers. We all want a partner who's consistent. We all want a partner who's mature and very loving. I think the best quality of this person is the fact that they're very forgiving. This is not a petty person because they're very emotionally mature. They know how this world operates. They know, they actually they're very aware of your triggers. So the way that they love you is by not intentionally triggering you. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like the past person that you had, they just did not care. They straight up did not care whether or not if they triggered you. So anyway, congratulations, my Virgos. I am very excited for you to be in this new loving relationship. I think after everything you've been through, you truly, truly deserve this. All right. Thank you so much. This is KinoKRT, Kino Restorative Tarot. If you want any private readings, my infos are down below. Hello Taurus, this is Kino KRT, Kino Restorative Tarot. This is your love reading for the month of August. So I asked my guides for an energy update in terms of your love life, and I have to say that some of you might have ran into a very smart but manipulative person. I think that this person was really good at keeping everyone in the dark. This person is a little bit two-faced, though there'll be your really good friend in front of you and then talk badly about you. I feel like this person had multiple potential partners. They're entertaining, or they've entertained multiple potential partners at the same time. This person feels like a serial dater. And there's a lot of overlap between one relation to the next. So I am so sorry that you guys had to deal with that, because this does not feel like a very pleasant person to deal with. But with that being said, the good news is that you have someone with really, really good intentions coming into your life. They might be on the younger side, or they might be your age, but for some of you, like, it could be someone younger. I feel like this new person is very protective. This new person do the right things for the right reasons. This person, I'm not gonna lie, like when I say protective, what I really meant is this person is a little bit territorial. So sometimes okay, so I'll describe to you what kind of person I see. This is the type of person that will open your car door or open the door for you, or after a date, they will, stop by your house, and then they won't leave until they've seen you safely exited the car and gone into your home. Like, it's that type of energy. This person is, it feels like a manager. Whenever you have anything that you need help with, say for example, if you need to move something heavy, this person is there. This is like a very solid type of person. On the shadow side, though, this person sometimes, they're not, I don't want to say they're controlling in a toxic way, but I think the way, like, I feel like this person just knows how the world is. So they really do try to protect you from it. So for example, if you're talking to your coworker and this person intuitively knows that your coworker is into you, this person is gonna get like jealous, but regular jealous, not toxic jealous. I don't feel like this person is abusive or like even accidental. I just think that this person is very weary of potential like stepping out. I feel like this person might have been cheated on in the past, but for the majority of you, this person is just a very good provider, a very good supporter. To be honest, now that we have the Five of Pentacles and the Phoenix in the reverse position, I think that you guys are hesitating on whether or not if you should date this person, because this person seems a little bit too good to be true. And also I think that whoever that previous King of Swords reverse type of person, I think they did a number on you. I think that, I don't know if you had fear of abandonment before meeting the King of Swords in the reverse, but definitely you have that now, just because of this person. I feel like this person put you through the ringer, and they did not treat you very well. And so now that you're meeting a person, or you will meet a person who treats you well, you're very skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, I also feel like that you're a little bit emotionally unavailable, mostly because you're still digesting all the trauma that you've gone through, like betrayal trauma, attachment trauma that you've gone through with the previous person. So when you meet this new person, this emperor guy or girl, when you meet this new emperor, I don't know if you are emotionally available. This emperor, I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like that they have really good intentions. This is not a bad person. Um, to be honest, I actually feel like some of you might have worked with this person, or like you might have met them before, because this feels like a very like old energy. Not that I'm not saying that this is an ex or anything, but I feel like for a lot of you, you've already met this person. This person, usually for the King of Wands, and the Emperor, this energy is like the same person. You know what I mean? For the King of Wands, I feel like this person, if they do not have their own business, then they are in a manager position, or like a project leader or a product leader. I feel like that this person has had their eye on you for a little bit. If that's not the case, right? If you met this person at like a dating app, then again, I feel like this person, when they first see you, it's like a lot of starry eyes. As practical as this person, the new person, is, I feel like they're like a little bit hopeless romantic type of thing, which is like, I would never describe a King of Wands emperor person as a hopeless romantic, and I don't think this person usually is a hopeless romantic. I do not think that, right? But with that being said, I feel like when it comes to you, they It's like they changed into a whole different person. I think some of you might be a little bit skeptical about like quote unquote potential love bombing. I don't think this person is thinking, oh, I'm going to love bomb the viewer and then treat them very badly. I don't think so. I think this King of Wands energy, they are, I mean, of course, they want to show you off. Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. Like this type of people, they love to show off their relationships. So you must be very, very attractive, or you must look really, really good on paper, because you know, with the Star and the King of Wands combination right there, like this is absolutely like they want to look good for you, and they want you to look good in their arms. Like this is like I mean, I usually don't date this type of people, but you know, everyone is different. This person, oh yeah, this is what I was talking about, like in terms of controlling. So this person sometimes like is that like they might get jealous if you follow too many good-looking people on your Instagram or like on TikTok or something. Like they're not happy when you are watching those trap videos. I'm not saying they're abusive. They're not, because they're not. You know what I mean? Are they controlling? I don't think it's like the toxic type of controlling. I feel like jealousy is normal in relationships, as long as it's not chronic jealousy, as long as it's not toxic jealousy. Like if you get jealous once every 2 years, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like this person, because this person enjoys attention so much, they're like, you have to look at me. You look at me only. Do not look at someone else. But also at the same time, this person is only looking at you and they're not looking at someone else. You know what I mean? So I think that's fair. I cannot stress enough with the strength and the moon. I feel like some of you might actually still be struggling mentally, like in terms of mental health, when you meet this new person, because just mostly because of the King of Swords person that have hurt you a lot. I also think that like you guys have a really bad habit of I'm just gonna be honest and say it. You guys have a really bad habit of not telling people when you're struggling. I think that like you guys think, oh yeah, I can power through. I don't do depression, but in reality, you're really struggling. This is the type of person that has a difficult time crying in front of people. Like even if you go to therapy, right? You have a difficult time being vulnerable and crying. And the reason why you're having that difficulty and vulnerability is because you're still nursing your wound from this previous relationship. Like I cannot stress enough how much damage this King of Swords person, who's like how much damage they've done to you. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like it's borderline verbally abusive, or for some of you, it could actually be abusive. I think this, like, you know, I was talking about Virgo and Capricorn. Yeah, sure, they went on dates with people who are selfish, but this King of Swords in the reverse is a whole different ball game. This person is like usually like the word narcissistic is overly used, but that's the only feeling I get when I'm talking about this person. Like I'm in their energy, and their energy feels very cold and unloving. And I think, you know, being in a relationship and being like on and off, up and down with this person has caused you a lot of hurt. You are very resilient, I'll give you that much, the strength card, you know. I think that, you know, you take on a lot, and like, say for example, I'll give you a good example, right? So for a normal person, they can take on 50%, but you take on 150%. And you don't tell people when you're struggling, you don't tell people when you're overwhelmed. And so we have this suffering in silence type of deal, which, you know, it's you there's a reason why that we're in this world, and we're not in this world, we're in this world not alone, if that makes sense. I think that, you know, we have trusting friends, and we are trusting people naturally. We're supposed to be like that. Because if you think about it, as an infant, right, they're very innocent, they're very trusting. And for you, you've gone through a lot of life where people might have treated you badly, so it's really difficult for you to trust other people. With that being said, I feel like this King of Wands Emperor person has really good intentions, which is why you're like doing a double take, like, oh my god, why, like, are you too good to be true? But in reality, yes, the universe is giving you someone who is, you know, very caring, very giving, and wants to be protective of you. You know what I mean? So, my Taurus, don't self-sabotage, because, you know, usually when I get energies like this, I feel like you guys might have, like, could self-sabotage. So just be aware. There are still good people in this world, and there are people in this world that you can trust, right? Overall, the world that we have is a kind world. There are a lot more kind people than hurtful people. Maybe you have encountered a lot of people who have hurt you in the past, and this video is your, you know, it's like your cue to trust the right kinds of people. There are trustworthy people out there. There are kind people out there. This world is a kind world. All right. That's it. This is Kino KRT, Kino Restorative Tarot. It was a pleasure to read for you, my Taurus people. And if you want to book a private reading, all of my info are down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!